Tinkering Toward Utopia, A Century of Public School Reform, written in 1995 by David Tyack and Larry Cuban. I chose this particular book to understand the history of the education system, the changes it has gone through, and learn how I can improve the future. What I got was much more than a history lesson. Throughout the book, there are two main themes, utopia and tinkering. The book highlights the evolution of schools and the layers of changes in the education system over decades of reform, striving to achieve greatness for the youth of America. The book describes tinkering in education of a way of preserving what is valuable and remedies what is not. Imagine your favorite teacher. What is their name? What grade were you in? Why is this person different from other teachers? Most importantly, how did this person make you feel? As teachers, our most important tool in our toolbox is building meaningful relationships that foster learning. Despite all the flaws in the education system, a student's teacher may be the most positive and rewarding part of their day. The utopian or idealistic ideas of building positive student and teacher relationships and making these encounters more common, thus improving learning. Learning is described as intellectual, civic, and social development, not simply as impressive test scores. Education was considered to be the means to a better society. Americans had thought it was easier to instruct the young than to coerce the adults. This cartoon from April 20th, 1901 portrays a native boy being dragged to an American schoolhouse. Educational leaders tried to transform immigrants or outsiders to fit into the box or portray what they believed an American should be. Their solution? We'll just teach them the American way of life. Education was the means to remedy major societal crises, influx of immigration or American strangers, poverty, civil rights, international competition. 1957 Sputnik created a frenzy to increase emphasis on science, math, and foreign languages. As the times changed, so did the agendas and the reforms. Expectations and experience different among people, thus determining progress or success of these reforms would lay much in the eye of the beholder. There were always people left behind the apparent march of progress. Those who often suffered from the inequalities were the poor, African Americans, working class immigrants, the disabled, and females. Kindergarten was created as a social mission to end poverty and educate parents on proper child raising. Junior high was created to be a bridge between younger grades and high school and tend more to the emotional and physical health of students. These years of a child's life were vastly different from lower grades and not quite the same ranks as the upper. A great start to truly educating the student as a whole person. Despite many attempts and reforms, little has changed to the basic grammar of schools. From the 1870s, education has moved from a one-room schoolhouse where all the ages and subjects commingled together to today's self-contained classroom divided by age of students, subjects divided in allotted times. Students were awarded grades or credits as evidence of learning. These basics made it easier for schools to duplicate across many avenues. This was presumed all students learned in the same manner and at the same pace. E.D. Hirsch, best-selling author in 1987, complained that we cannot assume that young people today know things that were known in the past. Interesting how even today, with all the research available stating every individual is unique, that we cannot step away from the grammar of schooling. Legislators can only do so much to level the playing field with school finance, establishing policies for equality, and provide adding resources. However, it is up to the teachers to adapt new ideas to their own circumstances and increase the number of positive student encounters. For all the issues, schools are the most positive and consistent influence many children will have in their lives.